Good afternoon. This is Debbie Broughton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Robert, Missouri. I'm just hopping on here a few minutes early to be sure. I am not straight at all today. I was in a hurry because I was making cards and I lost track of time. I'm trying now to see if I can get a little bit more straight. Okay, this is looking a little bit better. If you're here and you could comment, that would be great. Then I'll know that someone else is watching with me. And somebody said they couldn't find me, so I'm trying to send them a link. So just give me a minute. They might have been looking too early. I'm not sure. So now we can fix this just a little bit more. I got busy this morning just making all these. And then I looked at the clock and it was, hi Anna. I was sending a link to Judy because she couldn't find me. So I'm hoping that she can find me now. I was just making these this morning and then I looked at the clock and it was 1:45 and I'm like, oh my, I have to be ready to go on in just a little bit. So I kind of got on it in a rush. That's why everything was so crooked. Well, if you're joining me today, I'm so happy to have you. We're going to make these pop-up cards. And what I was originally trying was this one with I saw this one only done in the pink and the black, but I didn't have any more Pretty in Pink Designer Series paper, so I couldn't try again after I tried once. But I saw one that was like this that had this big pinwheel on it, and that's what I wanted to make, but my, no matter how big I got my hole here, I couldn't get it big enough or my pinwheel small enough to fit through it. So then I have some dies that aren't Stampin' Up! That gave me a big giant circle. But the only thing I don't like about this card is when I ran this through the embossing folder, it makes it so thin, it feels so flimsy now, like it might tear at any minute. But when you open it up, it pops up like that. Hi, Anna. Thanks for joining. So this is the pink one I made when I was trying to make that one, and I just used these instead of the big pinwheel, and it worked out much better. I like it much better, although I just wanted to see if I could do it with the big pinwheel. And although this is really thin, it doesn't really matter because I have it on the thick white cardstock, so it makes it be a more sturdy card. But they are really fast to make. And then after I finished those, I said I should probably do some easier ones. So these are with the Thoughtful Journey DSP. And this is with the Autumn Expressions DSP. I didn't really put any embellishments or ribbon because I was trying to be fast and see how many I could get done. Hi, Judy. I'm glad you found me. I sent you a link. So let's get started here. I'm just going to set these aside, but I'll bring them back out at the end to show you again. So now we're going to try one with the Storybook Friends because I just love that set and I love the plaid paper. And once you see how fast these are to make, I know they look, I'm not going to say these two are fast. This one would probably be fast if I did it again without making a big pinwheel and messing it up. But these are very quick and easy to make. So we're going to start with a piece of cardstock that matches our designer paper, which I picked this piece from the Timeless Plaid. So I'm going to put this in here at 5.5 as normal. I'm going to score it at 4 1/4 because that's half of 8.5. And then we have our card base. Then I'm going to take my Designer Series paper. I have my measurements. Well, I had my measurements right here. I'm not sure what happened to. Okay. We know that we want a card front, so that's 4. And it really doesn't matter how I cut this because I don't have an up or down. If you were to have an up or down, a directional thing, you'd have to be sure you got it this way. It's going to be 4 by 5 1/4. Our normal card front. And then we're going to need a strip to go on the inside right here. And that is going to be 1 1/4. Let me see, 1 1/4. I think I'm going to go this way so I can get that stripe of Lost Lagoon in there. It's 1 1/4 by 4 3/4. I wrote these all down in my post, if you saw that. Okay, so now the only other thing we need is the white piece that goes inside. That's our mechanism to make everything pop up. So this has to be 5 by 8.5. So I could open my arm by 8, I'm sorry. I could open up my arm and do 8, but I know that, you know, I only have to take a 1/2 inch off because it's 8.5, so I'm just going to do it on this side and take off my 1/2 inch. Then we're going to score it at 2. I've made so many I can remember this now. 2, 3.5. I said that now, I'll probably forget. 3.5 and 5.5. Okay, so now we have all our pieces ready. I can put my cutter away. And I'm going to use my bone folder to crease this. And then I'm going to add my DSP to the front. Oh, this is kind of pretty too. But we're going to stick with the plaid. So now, the one thing you want to do about this, because you don't want the circle to be glued, in case you wanted to use the Lost Lagoon as your circle with no DSP on it, which is what we're going to do. So we don't want to put any adhesive in the middle. We're just going to go around and put some on the edges, so that when we cut out the circle, we'll still have 2 pieces. So there we go. And we're going to lay this on here and line it up. I'm going to tell you, I have a cold today, so if I sneeze, don't worry. I'm going to try not to. It's just our weather. One day it's 25, one day it's 70. And I know it's like, wherever I've lived, it's always been like, because everybody always likes to say, oh, if you don't like the weather in Missouri, just wait a day. But you could say that for South Carolina, Texas, Mississippi, all the different places I've lived. Because it seems to me, maybe it just follows me, but we have a lot of those days. Okay, now I'm going to take my stylish circle. No, you know what? I think I'm going to change. Let me see if I have my... Now I probably won't be able to find my stylish circle because I was throwing things around trying to clear off. Here they are. Okay, I used a circle on those, but I was thinking for this afternoon, let's try a square. I'm not going to guarantee it's going to work, but we can see. We'll try a square. Just for something different. So then I'm going to take this over to the cut and boss machine. And I'm going to cut a square out. And I'm just going to cut it kind of like right out of the middle here so I can leave down here in case I wanted to put a greeting. Or you could center it, you know, it's up to you. I just don't want it too close to any of the edges. So I'll be right back. I'm thinking that the square should work just as well as the circle. But perhaps I should have tried this before I did it live, but we'll just wing it. If it doesn't work, we'll go on to the next one and we'll make a circle. Okay, so I have that cut out of the middle. Now, if you notice, see, I have this so that we can only have the Lost Lagoon, and then I have some of my punch-outs are ephemera. That's what they call them for scrapbooking, and we can pick a piece to put in the middle there. So, next we're just going to get rid of these extra pieces that we don't need for right now. And I'm going to try to crease this a little bit. It's never going to lay flat when you get it all put together, because there's just too much in the middle for the mechanism that makes it pop up. So here is our inside. This is going to be a valley. This is 2, 3.5, 5.5. So the 5.5 one, I'm making it be a valley. And then I'm going to make this one be a mountain. And this one be a mountain. So now it should look like this. This is what it should look like. So what we're going to do is, we're going to take this piece. We're going to open up the card. We're going to take this piece, and we're only going to put glue on this side. Of course, I've just been making 4 cards and my glue worked fine. But I must have left the lid off a little bit too long or something. It doesn't take much for this to get clogged. Sorry about the noise, but if you do that, sometimes it knocks it down to the bottom. Okay. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to have it folded like this. See? I'm going to take this side here and line it right up with the crease of the fold line. Not on the fold line, but like right next to it. And then I'm going to center this up and down, which did pretty good. Close this up. And there we go. All right. Now you're saying, well, it doesn't do anything. Nope. So now we're going to have to glue this to the front. So we don't want to glue here in the middle because it will show. So what we're going to do is we're just going to glue at the very top and at the very bottom. Or, you know, depending where you put your shape. You just don't want it to be in the open window. So then we're going to take this like this. And again, we're going to get it glued down really good. Okay. So what I really should have done is put my DSP piece on before I put the white in here because it's so much easier, but I didn't because I was speeding along. Hi, Marianne. I'm glad that you're here. I am just busy making cards. So, I'm going to put the plaid here. That wasn't as hard as I thought it might be. I'm going to take it like this just so I can kind of smooth it down. Now here comes the next tricky part. You don't want to mess up on this part or your card won't open. You only want to put glue on this designer series paper, not on this white, or it's not going to open, or it won't, you know, flip and everything. So we're just going to take the glue and we're going to fill this in here. Kind of like that. Then I'm going to take my Lost Lagoon piece and fit it right over that part. And now it should pop. See, so it works with a square. You could probably use a square or a rectangle. I'm going to have to get this though because I got a little bit of glue up at the top, which we do not want because it'll want to stick when you open and close it. So I'm going to wipe it with my embossing buddy. Or I could take it off with my adhesive remover. We used to sell these. We don't anymore, but you can get them at a lot of different places. Okay, so now we should do better. We better do it over here too. I just got a little bit too much glue and it squirted out up there. So, now, what do we want to put on here? We could take the square that we had and we could glue this back on the way that it goes, like this. And that would be nice, but I thought for this one, we could put one of these creatures. Let me put this glue away before it dries up more. So I punched out most of these from the DSP paper and put them in this little container. And we'll have to find one that will fit in this square. And this one fits pretty good in the square. Let's see. I guess he's like trying to stand like this. So that looks pretty cute there. Or we could have this squirrel here on his bike. What else do we have? The lamb will be too tall. Let's see if this lamb is too tall. Yes. This one's, let's see. It has to fit on this square perfect, otherwise it's going to get stuck when we're opening and closing the card. So what do you think? You think this person? We'll number them 1, 2, 3, and you guys vote which you think would look better, 1, 2, or 3. And I'll wait and see. I'll just put some things up here and see if you guys answer. They're all cute. And what I could do with my stylish shapes is I could find some words that would fit in a piece like that and put my greeting down there. I didn't really look for my greetings because I was busy trying to get them glued together. But let's see what I have laying here. I just put up all my stamps. I have happiest birthday left out from the round we go, but that's going to be kind of small to go on that big of a banner. Let's see. Okay, Marianne says 1. Oh, the happiest birthday will fit in this smaller one, so let's do that. Let's see, I have some scrap white paper right here. Let's see if this is big enough. Oh, this will be just big enough. Okay. So, Lost Lagoon. I think I didn't bring my Lost Lagoon ink over here. I like Lost Lagoon. It's a very pretty color, I think. Okay, I'll hold them up closer. This is number 1. It's a squirrel riding a bike. This is number 2. A squirrel picking an apple off the tree. And this is number 3. It's a squirrel with a rake. Or it might not be a squirrel because the face looks different. So I'm not sure if this is I don't know what it is. But it has a big fluffy tail. Maybe it's a fox. Or a mouse, but it doesn't have ears like a mouse. Or a tail like a mouse. So I'm not sure. So I am going to stamp my greeting. You know, one thing good about having this glass mat is that you don't have to put a cushion or anything underneath when you're using the photopolymer stamps. So there we go. Let me run and cut this out. So this will look nice right here. My ink kind of smeared. I guess my ink pad must be extra juicy. They all look like squirrels, except for look at this. The face on this one is different than the face on this one. Maybe it's just me, but it doesn't have the black around the eyes and everything. Maybe these are chipmunks. I don't know. It's something. It's some kind of a character. So we're going to go right now. We're going to go with number 1. And we're going to pop him up here. I'm trying to decide if I should put this back on here or not. But I think I kind of like him. He stands out more when he's just on the plain Lost Lagoon. So I have some dimensionals here. We're going to stick him right in the middle. And now I guess we could look for some embellishments to put on. I was thinking about using this color to kind of match the squirrel because I don't think I really have any Lost Lagoon embellishments. So to me, these kind of match, not perfectly, but they kind of match the squirrel. Or whatever kind of animal it is. So we'll put one there. We'll put one up here. And we'll put one on our square. Oh, I left the glue dot there. Maybe I didn't. Nope, I didn't. Okay. Look, and now I still have one on here. I have to have a bunch of these off now. That one's missing the glue dot, so I'm going to put it on that one. So, now we can write our greeting on the inside, and he pops up and he stands up. And that was pretty fast and quick. So, let me put these away so I don't lose them. I just like them because they kept falling out of their spots on the DSP sheet. So I just found this little container and put them all in there so I could keep them together. Put my embellishment back. We'll get all this cleaned up. And then we shall make another one. I need to put these away right away, otherwise I'm looking for them all over later. So, I'm not sure how that one went in there, but this is where the square went. I think this went over this one, and this one went over that one. There we go. Okay, so next, I'm going to use my second favorite stamp set. Although I didn't really think I was going to like it at first. But I've kind of fallen in love with it. Which is Terrific Toadstools. I just love saying popping up to say hi. So I thought this would be a perfect one to use those words on. So we will cut our cardstock at 5.5. We will score it at 4 1/4. We'll crease it. We'll lay it up here. We'll take, I picked this DSP. It's very bright. And we are going to need 4. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you, Anna. 4 by 5 1/4. Then we're going to need another, this is just a piece of scrap. We're going to need another one that's 1 1/4 by 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. That's for the inside. And just as long as we have the cutter out, we're going to do the inside. So we're going to cut this at 5. And we are going to cut a 1/2 inch off this side so that it'll be by 8. Then we're going to do our scoring, which is 2. 3 1/2. These are really quick if you already had your paper cut and everything in 5.5. So before we do, we're going to crease this first, and then we're going to put our DSP on so it's easier to get in there when you can lay it flat. So that's a valley, then a mountain. I just have glue stuck on my fingers all over. And this is another mountain. So it goes valley, mountain, mountain. And see what I mean by mountain? It comes up and valleys go down. So there we go. So we can lay it out flat here for a minute while we put on our DSP. This side kind of makes me dizzy to look at. I don't know why, but it does. So we're going to put this in here. There we go. So now let's work with this one. We only want glue, remember, around the edges in case we don't want the DSP to be on the circle or square, whatever's in the middle. So we're just putting adhesive around the edges. And then we're going to center this. I got this one a little crooked, but that's why I have the green glue so I can move it carefully. Okay, so what shape should we use now? I'm thinking a rectangle. And my stylish shapes don't really have a rectangle. So let's see what we have here in my basket. Well, this is the scallop contours. I have this little one. We could do a little one, but I'd have to see if the mushrooms are going to fit on it. No, the mushrooms, I need one just a little bit bigger. Otherwise, the mushroom will get stuck when you try to open it. So let's try this one. That one will work. I'm pretty sure these might be retired. I just picked up the first few that were in my basket here. So we are going to do like we did last time. Put this up just a little bit to leave down here to put our saying. And I'm going to go cut this out. So, now you have this piece that, of course, somehow I got some glue. I put my glue too far down. That you could use for some other decoration on a different card. I'm going to see if I can get this off with my glue remover. Oh, I think I can. Since I put it through the cut and boss machine, it really pressed it down and it got glued on there good. Okay, so that worked. Because I'd like to see the little stitching around. So this is going to be our front and our thing that pops up, our popping mechanism. Now we're going to put the inside in. We're going to hold it like this, flip it over, and only put glue on this side. This designer card has lots of times where you only want to put the glue in certain spots. So that you just got to get your mind to say, stop. I can only put it on this side. Then I'm going to lay this like center top to bottom and lay it right next to the fold in the card. Fold this over and get it smoothed out. Now we're going to take this side and we're only going to put glue where it's not going to show through. So I have to be very careful just to put a little line of glue up here because it's pretty close to the top. And then a line down here. And then we're going to close it. Oh, it looks like I made it at the top. That's where I was worried about it. We're going to smooth it again. And then we're going to see it pop open perfectly. Now, we're going to add our Melon Mambo piece back in here. And we only want to put glue on the side where the DSP is. And we don't want to get too close to the top because that's what happened last time. Then it squished out and it didn't want to open correctly. So we're going to lay this in there. Let's smooth it down. Smooth everything down. Now, voila, we'll see if it will work. Voila. With the scallops around the edge, it'll, you know, it doesn't quite want to open the first time, but once you open it, it knows what to do. So, I thought we could put a mushroom on here. So I have out my blocks and my stamp set. First, I'm going to put the lid on my glue. I got the top of the mushroom, the stem, and then I got out my words popping up to say hi, because we're going to put those at the bottom. All right. So I have a piece of scrap of white, which I have now probably buried under everything here. Let me see if I have a piece of white over. I remember I had it. It was the perfect square of white, but it's gone. So let me get another one. I try to keep all my scraps of white together so that I don't have to get out a new piece when I just want to stamp something I'm going to cut out. So we're going to make the Toadstool Top B Melon Mambo. We're going to make the stem be basic gray. I don't use basic gray very often. Oh, so I said it might be dry, but it's not. It almost looks like black, doesn't it? Basic gray, unless you lay it next to black. So maybe I would go with gray granite instead next time. So I did not buy the punch because I do buy the punch when it's something harder to cut out, but this seemed to me like so easy to cut out. I decided not to buy the punch. There's the top, and here's the stem. One good thing about the punch, though, it's just a little bit smaller than what it's stamped, so you don't get any white at all around your mushroom or your stem. We're going to glue our stem into the mushroom. Man, everything today is sticky. There we go. I want it to kind of, there. Then we're going to pop it up on here with some dimensionals. Just need a little piece for the stem. I like using the edges of the dimensionals when you have something little like this. I got it too long. There we go. Peel off the paper. I don't know, next time I might stamp something on the background of the thing in the middle, because it does kind of look pretty blank with just a, or maybe I will punch some more or cut some more mushrooms out of the little ones, maybe. Like these little ones, and put them next to it, because it does look a little lonely there. But let's see if the popping up, let me find that. I took those words out, didn't I? Yes, I did. Nope, I didn't. Oh, I did. So now they've gotten stuck to something on here because I didn't put them on their block. Or if I did, I don't see my other, here it is. Sometimes I'm blind. Does that happen to you when I get to stamping? I just say, where is my cutter? And it's laying right there. I want to see if any of these will be wide enough. I think this one is. Yep, this one will be wide enough. So let's stamp it here with the Melon Mambo. I'll cut this out real quick and I'll be right back. Didn't cut it. Very good. To try again. There we go. Oh, that'll work perfect underneath there. Oh, you're right, Marianne. I could cut out the grass and put it down there. I forgot that there's grass in that set. That would be perfect. Then it won't look like it's floating in the air. Let me go get my Granny Apple Green. I think it will fit on this. Well, because I don't really need the whole piece anyway. There we go. It doesn't even take too long to cut out the grass. So, how are we, oh, we're going to glue this down, then we'll have to cut off the edges. So we're not going to go with our glue all the way to the edges. And we're just going to carry, this would have been easier to do when it wasn't on here, but we will just put it there. And then it gives something for the mushroom to stand on. And I just need to trim it a little bit on this side. Oh, Marianne, that really brightened it up and gave it something more than just the mushrooms sitting there. Well, I hope you all enjoyed these cards. I certainly had fun making them today. And if you want to try one of these, basically it was the same thing, just using the Round We Go dies and stamp set. And the polka dotted embossing folder. Have a great afternoon. Have a great evening. See you Monday. Bye.